Good evening, AuthorTube. My name is lsevier. I'm feeling a little weird because it's real late at night and I'm filming. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about author branding. Your author brand. You've heard this. These are buzzwords. You've heard it a million times. But what the heck does it mean? Well, I'm actually going to be starting a series of videos discussing this topic. This is the first introductory video in this series, and it's going to be about how to build your author brand. This video is about what your author brand is and what does that mean for you. So let's jump right in, just because, I don't know, I'm not one for a bunch of mindless rambling. Or am I? Anyway, what is your author brand? Essentially, your author brand is you. Super specific, right? Yeah, when I first heard that, that's about the same reaction that I had. I was like, okay, great. Could you give me some direction here? So one question that some marketing specialists I was dealing with for my writing competition gave to me that I really had to sort of dig deep to answer, sort of helped me find my brand. And so that is the question I'm going to pose to you guys in this video. First, I want to talk about author branding. There are certain topics that I'm going to discuss in subsequent videos, like continuity in author branding and, you know, how you know when you found your brand, how you know when you need to rebrand, you know, what to do whenever your career takes a turn. How do you rebrand? All of these different questions I'm going to answer throughout the series. First things first, where are you at in your publication journey? Okay? You don't necessarily have to have a huge social media following or a platform or anything right now if you don't have a book out. First things first, focus on your work. Focus on your baby. Focus on your book. Okay? Once you've gotten your book to a suitable place, or if this is something that you just like to do in your off time, that's absolutely fine. Remember, this is all up to you. Your author brand is about who you are, what you bring to the table, what is your unique, amazing, wonderful quality that is going to make people want to read and buy these books. And before you say, well, I don't have any, yes, you do. Every single person does. Every single person on this planet has a wonderful quality about them. For example, and I'm going to use this competition as an example probably a lot just because it's still sort of happening. I'm going back in 2 weeks. Anyway, I met probably every different kind of person you could meet during this competition the last time I went to Vermont around the end of July. I met someone who writes horror, graphically horrible horror. It was terror-inducing and beautiful, and he was just so amazing. He had this quality, should do his own audiobooks. He had this just wonderful booming voice to where he could really voice, whenever he was doing his readings, his own words. He had this amazing way with words, with being able to describe the horrible, gory horror parts of his book that normally I wouldn't pick up and read. I was fascinated by. Anyone who is brave enough to put words on a page and then brave enough to let anyone else in the world read them, you're already a rock star. So that was my encouraging little pep talk. Now I want to tell you about the question that I was asked by marketing specialists that helped me discover my brand in an attempt to be able to help you discover yours. And that question is, why were you the right author to write this book? Before you answer, take a deep breath. I mean it. Like, in through the nose for 8 seconds, like out through the mouth, meditate on it. You know, dream about it. Think about it at night before you ever put pen to page or, you know, fingers to keys in trying to answer that question. I really want you to think about why you specifically were the absolute right person to write the book you wrote. Maybe it is because, like me, you're somewhat of a survivor. You know, maybe it is because you're someone from a marginalized community and that's what you're writing about. Maybe it's because you have a genuine love and passion for underwater basket weaving, and you had to write a how-to book on how to do it because you're just so passionate about it, tell me that. That's what I want to know. That is step one to figuring out what your author brand is. Your author brand is who you are and what you bring to the table. It's what makes people want to talk to you. It is what makes people want to connect with you. Your author brand is essentially who you are. And that sounds really confusing until you really start thinking introspectively. So that is your homework before my next video, is to ask yourself that question and get your answer. Why were you the absolute right person to write your book? You can say it in a sentence, in a word. You could not do it at all because there's no one grading you. Or you could write an entire dissertation, as long as it gets you thinking about that. Anyway, your brand is also going to be what you use to build your social media following, or if you're not interested in building a social media following, possibly building your newsletter following or your reader following. This is what you're going to use as the foundation, your author brand, the foundation for marketing and promotion and all kinds of things that go into being a successful author. I know that sounds really silly right now, but trust me, as we build on this first introductory video, it'll make more sense later. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments down below, wait, you knew what I meant to say. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Or I am posting all of my links to all my social medias and my newsletter on my website, and also my direct email. So please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding this very first video, and look out for the next one in the series where we're going to be building on this foundation. Anyway, this was really fun. I hope that this got you thinking, and have a great night, guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, it would be really cool if you liked or subscribed, and I'll make sure that I am posting the next video in the series on the same day each week that this airs. That way you can kind of know when to look out for it. Anyway, ring the bell. It would be really cool if you kept coming back. Anyway.